hockey friends and families around the world, and welcome to another episode of Our Girls Play Hockey. I'm Lee Elias, joined by Mike Bonelli and Hayley Scamurra, and today we're sitting down with one of the brightest young stars in women's hockey. She developed her game through the USA Hockey Development Program, something we all know, before becoming a standout at Clarkson University, and today she's a member of the Boston Fleet and will be joining our own Hayley as a member of the Team USA for the upcoming 2026 Winter Olympic Games. That's one of the coolest things I get to announce. Listen, she's been praised for her calm under pressure, two-way play, and leadership beyond her years, and her journey is an incredible example of what's possible for young players who combine hard work with a love of the game. Prerequisite. Ladies and gentlemen, Hayley Winn is joining us today. Hayley, welcome to Our Girls Play Hockey.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
No, we are very excited to have you. I think first off, we have to congratulate you on making Team USA. What an amazing accomplishment. Hayley, it's weird to say this. We've said good job to you many times. This is the first time we get to do that. And also, Hayley, you just scored your first PWHL goal recently as of this broadcast. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Sorry, I actually didn't know which one you were talking to at first.
Yeah, for our listeners, I got two Hayleys on here. So I might just say Scamurra for you the rest of the episode.
Sounds good.
I'm sure you're used to hearing that on the ice anyway. What's your nickname on the ice, Hayley? What do they call you?
Scams.
Oh, can I do that on the episode today?
You can call me Scams today.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty.
And I always call Hayley Winnie.
Winnie and Scams. That sounds like a new children's book we need to write at some point in the future. Hayley, again, I'm talking to her now. Let's just start at the beginning here. For the audience, how did hockey first find its way into your life? What do you remember about those early days and learning how to skate and play?
Yeah, I have three older brothers, so that's honestly how I started. Honestly, neither of my parents played, but my dad went to Clarkson, where obviously hockey was a big sport there. So we just love following the games and watching and stuff. And then when my brothers, were little, he built an outdoor rink in the backyard. And obviously that's how it all started, and just following their footsteps. And obviously the rest is history. But yeah, definitely the outdoor rink is a big memory. And he built it for probably like 15 years for us. So that was awesome, and definitely had a lot of competitive battles out there, and got toughened up by my brothers pretty good. So
yeah, that's a common story, right? We always hear about the sibling rivalry creating the competitive environment that you need to be in. Now this is cool. I get to do this. Scams. I'm throwing it over to you. Yeah, that was lamer than I thought it was going to be. I'm sorry. I apologize right away.
That was pretty lame.
It's different when it's on the ice. It's okay. So Winnie, you've been through every step of like USA Hockey, right? Development camps, national team. What was like the biggest adjustment you had between each level, and how did you prepare yourself mentally and physically to continue moving up the ladder?
Yeah, I feel like the first thing that comes to mind is like confidence. I think most of it was like mental for me. I've always like obviously loved the game and had a passion for it and worked really hard, and like that, came easy to me, the hard work part. And I think I was always prepared. I always prepared myself off the ice, but I think it was more like mentally for me to kind of flip that switch, and I'd have, confidence with like say my high school team or my college team, and then going to USA, it's almost such like it's a different level. It's a different team, and you're playing with different players, and the stakes are higher and the pressure's higher. So I think the confidence and the mental aspect was a big thing for me to kind of gain and kind of feel like I belonged. And it really was just like, yeah, having that confidence in myself, knowing that, I'm here for a reason, and I don't have to change my game. They picked me for a reason, and all those things. So I think that's been a huge thing for me. And, still you work on it today. Obviously I'm on a brand new team with Boston, and still like every time you go to a national event, it's all about kind of the confidence and making sure like your mindset's on point.
Yeah, I mean, talking about, just thinking about and staying in the same realm of your own development, it looks like you've taken such easy paths. I mean, basically Clarkson, hockey, and academics. It's it's such a smooth path for the regular academic
it's easy,
student,
right? Everybody does that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I mean, what I'd like to hear a little bit about those because of the demands of that. I mean, this is a great academic institution, obviously a great hockey program. You're a high performer at both. Can you talk a little bit about, how you juggled both of those things, in your development, and maybe even before Clarkson, what did you do in high school and prep school to really get yourself in a place where, like you said, you could be in that confident place and playing a role that you were meant to play?
Yeah. I think in high school, I went to like a prep school, and I think that's where I really learned, what it was going to take to make, the Olympic team or the national team one day. And I was really lucky to be surrounded by a really good group of girls and players and coaches that kind of made that easy for you. When you have someone alongside you that's also waking up at 5 a.m. to shoot pucks, it makes it a lot easier than doing it by yourself. So I think that was the first thing. Kind of, I'm like an early bird, so I like getting my work done like right in the morning. And then, obviously like academic wise in college and stuff, like you got to get your work done. And that's what we use a lot of. Like we had a lot of crazy road trips and stuff that we got that done for. But I think just having the right people and support around me was really important in high school and college. And we had so many resources in college to use, whether that was like a shooting room or extra ice and stuff. And I think just taking advantage of those things. And we also had, in high school and college, you have mandatory study halls and all this stuff to kind of get your work done. So kind of just staying on top of it, I think was a big thing, because as soon as you get behind in academics, it kind of, you get behind in, having to do the extra work and stuff. So I think just staying on top of everything. And like I said, just having the right people around you.
Yeah, we've had the same conversation with Hayley a couple of times, about what the sacrifices you need to make, and I think you're probably in the same boat. You didn't think it was a sacrifice at the time, but
right.
Can you just talk a little bit about for the high school player, that prep school player, what you had to give up to get where you went, like, and not that it was a sacrifice, but there are trade-offs, right? And making that environment work for you. Talk a little bit about that. And was it hard or was it easy for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think even like before I went there in middle school, say you have your group of school friends, but then you're gone every Friday, Saturday, Sunday and I was on a boys team. So it's like, I didn't have the same relationships obviously with the boys and I had with my school friends, but you can never hang out with your school friends because you're always playing hockey. So it's like, it's hard to have that balance for sure. So I think going to prep school was an adjustment for me, but it was fun because I was like, I got to be best friends with the girls I was playing with, which was super fun. But yeah, obviously, I went to school close to home, but I was still living away from home, when I was 15 years old. So learning a lot, obviously not being with family was hard, but having, again, like I said, everyone was in the same boat. So it didn't seem like a sacrifice at the time, but being able to kind of, live my dream and stuff. And my parents came to almost like every game, as many as they could. But I think, obviously moving away from home was a huge one. And even going back home now, it's like, I'm sure Scams is in the same boat. Like you don't have a ton of friends at home because you've just always been away from home your whole life. So it's like you go home and there's not a ton of hometown friends you have, but that's, again, like that's sacrifice, you have to make. And now you have all these friends across the country that you got to play with. So
yeah, look, it's the difference between saying you want something and doing what you need to do to get what you say you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no shortage of people saying, oh, I want this, I want that, right? But Hayley, you're doing a great job of explaining, like, if you want this, there's choices that you have to make to obtain it. And here's the thing, if you're not willing to make those choices, that doesn't mean you're a failure or anything like that, right? It's just, that's the choice you're making. I have to ask this too. You talked about the NCAA and stuff. There are some NCAA athletes that, I'm trying to say this nicely, the sport becomes their job. All right. For college hockey players, the academics, they're not going anywhere. They have to happen. Right.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the again, we kind of dipped on it a little bit, the academic side of things. And I want you to talk to the audience about, we know it's important, but the stress involved with having to balance actual academics, like how you did that. And both of you can answer that. You both went to very great schools, right? But like, how do you continue to prioritize the academics with the understanding of like, I have to do this if I want to play, right? And I got to do it well, right? Maybe there's some advice there for the young kids in school right now that I don't want to say are struggling with it, but are kind of thinking, how am I going to do this? Like, I just want to play.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Scans, you want me to take it first?
You got it.
I think a big thing, like you said, I mean, you're traveling every other Thursday, you're missing Thursday, Friday classes in college. Like, it's definitely tough. And I think a big thing for me was one, just like having that good relationship with professors and with teachers. Because if you have that, like, I mean, I was lucky. Yeah, obviously Clarkson's a pretty small school, so the professor to student ratio is pretty good. But having that good relationship, so they actually understand, what you're going through. You're a Division I athlete, and like you have a lot of demands. So that was the first thing, and also just leaning on, like your teammates, or we had an advisor primarily for our team, and you had a lot of teammates in your classes, and like, yeah, nobody ever wants to do homework on the bus. Like, you just want to have a good time and chat with your teammates and stuff. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So then when you get to the hotel, you can prioritize, recovery, and you don't have to do homework until 11 p.m. when you play the next day. So it's definitely like doing things you don't want to do. But also, even like in college, you'll have an awkward hour between classes instead of just, going and scrolling for an hour. Like, okay, actually I need to dial in and just get a little work done for this hour. And it makes, if I do this now, I can go to bed an hour early or something like that. And again, it's usually something you don't want to do, but in the long run, obviously it pays off.
Well, it's pro level discipline is what you're talking about here. Right. Scams, I'll give you a chance to answer this too if you want. But the point is like, I want the listeners to understand that like discipline is sacrificing something you want now for something greater later on. And when you do that on the scale that both of you have done it, like, I mean, look where you are, right? Like you're pros at it. I do have to throw this question out too. Scams, you can answer this. I'm thinking here about homework and balancing that.
Yeah.
But you're both pro hockey players now. I mean, is it easier now that all that stuff's not there? You got degrees and you just get to focus on the hockey, or is it there's more demands at that level as well, and it kind of evens itself out? You can be honest.
I would say it kind of evens itself out if I'm being honest. I
Sure.
think there's a lot of like community outreach stuff you need to do, and just more taking care of your body, and with nutrition, with recovery, with just a multitude of things.
It's a job, right?
And then with the travel schedule, it's like you got to really like plan out your day and figure out your weeks and how you're gonna like manage getting certain things done. And it's definitely still hard, but it's nice not to have actual schoolwork to do. And you get to like find things that kind of bring you more joy and excitement, I guess, throughout the day. But definitely it has its own demands for sure.
I was gonna say it's an amazing job, but it's a job. It's a job, and unlike most jobs, if you don't do well, they show you the door pretty quickly, right? So it's one of those. But Hayley, I don't know if you had anything to add on to that. I always love that
in terms of the school stuff. Yeah, I think I had similar answers to Hayley. Honestly, it was just like you have so much help as a student athlete going into college, I would say, because you have a separate like student athlete advisor. And there's also special tutors you can get through that who are other athletes who also understand what you're going through, and your teammates, which is always nice. So it's a way to like kind of bond, if you will, with your teammates. You can go do study groups and stuff together. So pretty similar to her, but it's all about time management and just kind of getting things done between the day, I would say. Because once I hit after dinner time, I wasn't doing any more work. I was usually too tired.
Well, look, you got to be a pro at that too. And I think it's safe to say that, both of you built up the ability to do that over time, right? It's like each step along the way presents itself with new challenges, but like there's skill sets, right? You got to practice, you got to get better. And I always like to say too, we're all capable of so much more than we probably realize that we are. And, you push and you get to this next level and you realize, okay, well, I can do more. And, to a point. Right. But, no, thank you guys for that question. Hayley, I think you actually have the next question.
I kind of talk about presence. So you're very calm and composed and confident on the blue line. And I kind of want to know where that leadership came from. Did you have like a coach or mentor that helped you build that?
Yeah, I think a few of them. Like my last year of boys was in 8th grade, and I had a skills coach. You've skated with him, Scams, but like Francois Mathot, his name is. So he was my coach my last year of boys, and I've been skating with him ever since. So it's been a few years now, and he was definitely a big mentor for me, and still is. Like I go home every summer and skate with him, but he played professional hockey, and it was just he taught me a lot about. I think that side of it, just like the calm composure side, and just obviously helped my development a ton. And then into high school, one very memorable coach was Brent Hill, who's actually now our D coach on the national team. So definitely full circle, but he was a huge help for me in high school. And I know, I always had a dream of playing on the Olympic team, but he also had a dream as a coach. He had higher goals and stuff too. So he definitely taught me, the hard work, what it's going to take to get to the next level. We sat down, we made a goal card, we did process goals, we did all those things. And I think that like just really helped me get to the next level. And he kind of helped me realize like my potential. Like at first, I just wanted to make a select 70 camp, which is like the first camp to make U18s. And then the next year I'm like, wait, I think I can actually like make the team. Like I just don't want to make the camp, I want to make the team. And so kind of like setting up those goals. And again, back to like the working hard piece, I think as long as you're preparing your body and stuff, that's where the confidence comes from, is just knowing that you've put in the work and you're kind of in the right place.
Yeah, you mentioned. Oh,
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, you mentioned process goals, and I'm kind of curious if you could maybe like define that for our listeners, like what exactly that is and what that looked like for you.
Great question.
Yeah. So it's like, obviously, okay, your goal, you want to make an Olympic team, but that's a broad goal. So like process goals, we just break it down. Like what are the daily things that I'm going to do every day to get to that goal? So it's like, okay, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to shoot this many pucks when I wake up, and then I'm going to stick handle and I'm going to stretch, and I'm going to do that all before school, and then go to school. Had those routines of what I was going to do every day. And I was going to, do an extra bike workout twice a week or whatever the case may be. And obviously it differs for whatever your goals is, but it was just so helpful to break that down, because you can always have these big goals, but it's like, how are you going to get there? And obviously you see the quotes everywhere. Like it's about the process. It's not, the outcome will come, but I think a big thing, my brother has also been a huge mentor for me, but he's big on the mindset thing. And I think in my early years, I was so attached to the outcome. I was like, I really just want to make this USA team. Like I really want to make it. And he's like, well, the more you hold on to it, the further it's going to get. Like you're just holding on to this dream and this goal so much that it's like getting further and further away. Like just let it go, like focus on your day to day, and then it'll like come to you. But yeah, that was a huge thing for me, obviously.
It's I love that you're bringing this stuff up. A friend of our show, Bobby Robbins, who played for the other pro team in Boston. It's kind of funny to say that. Recently wrote an article about making it to the NHL. And he echoed what you just said, Hayley, in the sense of like, there wasn't this like massive just moment. It was just all the work led to that. And that was what he was doing that day. Not that he wasn't ecstatic about it, but like you said, it's like, if I like what you said, if you hold on to that outcome, it gets further and further away. That's a massive thing to say. And it goes to show your point that the dream without the work will just remain a dream. Like if you have a dream, you want that dream to be a reality. Like we don't say that enough, right? Like it's important to have dreams, but you want it to become a reality. And if you want that dream to become a reality, process goals are key. That's just a fantastic answer. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I think as I'm thinking about this whole, that process piece, the chop wood, carry water mentality of just saying, listen, I've got to do certain things, be prepared for what my end goal is. And then now, now this responsibility actually for both of you. And we've gotten a little bit out of Hayley, our guest host, but I think it's more on ours. I'm not in the nickname, so sorry. But I think thinking about, now the role that you've built for yourself, like this persona of who you are, your status as a player and a national player. I mean, what do you think those qualities, like what obligation do you feel now as a leader in women's hockey, that these other girls, these young ladies can aspire to look at you and say, wow, that's something she's doing that I want to do?
Yeah, I think it's helped me a lot, honestly. Like my first few years making the national team, like seeing someone like Scams, I think a big thing for me was just now, like where I'm at now, I still have trouble. Like now I'm struggling to listen to my body, because it's like I'm so programmed to like do all this work all the time. And now you're like at a level where you're like, okay, maybe more work isn't staying on the ice longer, but more work is going to recover longer. And so like that's something I'm still working with. So for me, like being with Scams and just all these like amazing veterans on the USA team, like they have taught me so much about the recovery piece and like, hey, it's okay to take a day if your body's feeling it. It's okay to have a sweet treat if you're feeling it. Like that was a big thing Scams taught me. And I think for the little girls like looking up to us, it's like it's so important to just enjoy what you're doing. Like it's a dream and it's a job, but like if you're not enjoying it, if you're not having fun with it, then it's like you're only going to get so far. And I think that was a big thing for me, is just, you know, like don't take yourself so seriously. Like this is a goal and you know, this is plan A, but like take a breath and really enjoy it, because it's going to go quick. And I think that's a big thing for younger athletes to kind of realize.
Awesome. It's beyond your years there with that answer, Haley.
Seriously.
Yeah. Scams, you're up. Sorry, I can't say your nickname right. It's just not working for me.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I tried. I'm never going to make it with this.
I just think that was a perfect answer. I mean, she kind of took the words out of my mouth a little bit. But I think, you know, for me with the younger generation, I think it's just so huge to be that role model for them just in general. And also show that like we're also just human.
Yeah.
And it's okay to take rest. It's okay to not be okay at times and to struggle with certain things and to be vulnerable. And so that's what I try to do in my day-to-day life, is just be authentic to me and to be there for other athletes.
I think it's
ahead,
so good. No, go. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm just thinking, like, I'm thinking about how a young player is listening to this, and you know what you're talking about, both of you, is the norm. Like the player that goes through and just, you know, grinds it out and just says, I'm a machine and I'm going to do what I need to do to get where I get, and I get there. That's not the norm, right? The norm is a regular person that has the negatives and positives, that has the ups and downs, and that's able to navigate all those things, but to have good support people around them to say, hey, listen, it's okay to feel this way today, because you're not going to feel this way tomorrow. And by the way, if you do this, this is going to help you do this. And so I don't even think I have a question there.
Well, no, I can tag on that, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Because to the Haleys, again, I'm trying to figure this out. But, you know, Hayley S., what's cool, right? When we brought you on as one of the hosts of this show, right, one of the goals was to share your knowledge. And I think what's really cool, I don't know if you recognize this, but we have talked on this show many times about rest and recovery and how important it is. And here is one of your teammates on the show echoing back what you have said. And Hayley, I'm sure you don't listen to the show that often, but I'd say that's something she has said. So, like, Hayley, I hope that you see that's kind of a little bit of a full circle moment of like not only are you preaching this, your teammates are hearing it, and then from the podcast standpoint, now you know we're not BSing you, right? Because now you got two people saying it. Anyway, I know we want to talk about the PWHL here, Hayley, so you can go ahead and take it on. But I want to acknowledge that too, Hayley, because like it's important that you see that as a, you know, she said, your mentor, your veteran, like you're having an impact on this game far more than just playing it and the time and space that you create that we love to talk about. But let go ahead.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's, you know, I'm very passionate about it because it's something I had to learn as well. And like,
Right.
I see a lot of myself in Winnie too. Like I was very similar, where I felt like I had to work all the time and never take a break. And so I just kind of saw similar patterns in her, and I was like, I know how to help. I know what to say that could kind of help her through this. And
I'll still text Scams and be like, so I'm feeling this today. Like, do you think it's okay? Just need like a little reassurance.
Yeah.
You think it's okay if I take it off? She's like, yes.
We all need that sometimes, little support buddy. But Winnie, I want to talk to you about your jump from college to pro. This is your first year in pro hockey, and I kind of want to hear what surprised you the most. Was it the pace, the physicality, your daily routine? Like, how was that adjustment for you?
Yeah, I think definitely physicality. I think more than pace. Obviously faster and quicker, but I think you almost just adjust to that naturally. I think the physicality was a big thing for me to kind of adjust to, you know, just kind of like forget I'll like make a pass and then forget that somebody can finish the check on me and stuff. But definitely took a little longer to get used to. And just the day-to-day, I think, was definitely adjustment. It's like you don't think about it. I was just so excited to be here that I didn't think about all new teammates and a new coach and new systems and new everything, like new routine. So that kind of, I think, took me a little while to get used to because I'm a huge routine person. And it was just like, I was just so psyched to be here that I didn't even think about like how different it would be. So it definitely took me a little longer to adjust than I anticipated, but obviously adjusting now, which is good. And as far as like, we're talking about not having academics and stuff, like I was like, oh, I really need to find a hobby, but it's like,
Yeah.
you're almost traveling so much. And then like you get home from the rink at 3:00 and then go for a walk, it's dinner, and then you watch a show. So it's like I thought I was gonna have all this time on my hands, and you really like don't have as much as you think. So it's been fun to kind of just adjust and spend more time with the girls and stuff like that.
How's your autograph skills getting?
Working on it. I think
her autograph is sick. Okay.
Well, you got a cool last name too. Like,
yeah.
She did well with her autograph. It's very like artsy. I was very jealous of it because we had to sign a bunch of stuff for what was the
card company?
The card thing, yes. Yeah. And she sent me what hers looked like. I was like, that looks way cooler than mine. Mine's just a bunch of scribbles. I'm like, it must have taken her way longer to do all those.
Well, I'm going to say it again. When you have a last name that's Winn and you play sports,
this is true.
I love Scamurra, but that's not the easiest name to write.
No, it's not.
One of the cool things, and I want to share this with both of you. Like I'm a bit of an Olympic hockey nut and international hockey person. Like I coach. I've always been enamored with Team USA and international hockey. We talk about dreams becoming reality. I'm not trying to be sappy here, but the fact that I'm sitting here speaking to two Olympians is like a dream of mine as a broadcaster, right? And what's cool is it's pretty comfortable, right? In the sense of like, how cool is this that we're sitting here today talking about this, right? So it is such an honor to talk about this next question of you're both on Team USA, you're representing the country, you're about to go play in the Olympics. So Hayley Winn, I will start with you. It's your first Olympics. In women's hockey, there is no higher team as an American than Team USA. You have qualified, you have done it, you will be playing the Olympics. How can you even compartmentalize for us I don't know the word, the feeling, the aura, the experience? Can you even put it into words?
Yeah, you really can't. I don't know. I know, like, I just remember when the GM called us, like she like told me the news and she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, how do I feel? Like, you literally just told me that I'm about to like go achieve a childhood, like a dream that I've had since I was like 8 years old. Like, right. I don't know how to explain to you how I feel, but yeah, it's just like, obviously like just a dream come true. But it's like, I called my parents right away and we were all in tears, and it's just so special. There's so many things that happen throughout the years. We talked about the hard work and the sacrifices, and it's all kind of coming to life. But at the same time, we also talked about like the norm. Like, it hasn't really hit yet. I don't think it'll hit probably till we like land in Italy, because it's like, it's just like, it feels like kind of another world championships, but it's not. And
it's a little different.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I know it's just going to be like such a whirlwind when we get there and stuff. And even like people say it now, like you're going to be an Olympian, and just like hearing that, I'm like, there's no way. Like, I don't know. I'm like waiting to wake up from the dream.
Hayley, you are an Olympian. You're not going to be. You are an Olympian.
Yeah.
But I hear you. So hopefully the thing that hits when you get there is Hayley Scamurra on the ice. So they got to watch out with those international refs. But I'll also say this too, is that one of the things we've been doing with Hayley on the show is kind of documenting her year, because this is a special year, right? Where you're playing pro, you're playing the Olympics, the rivalry series is going on. And Hayley's done a really great job of kind of walking us through what this is like for her, right? One of the questions that we've asked her, and Hayley Winn, I'm asking this to you now, is that, one of the prerequisites for making Team USA is really understanding that you're representing the United States of America. And I love that you talk about the call, because Katie Million's kind of a friend of the show too. And Katie has this whimsical way of speaking that just kind of sounds like she's reading a book to you. But the truth is this: when you put that jersey on, you have to have the understanding of you're representing the country. And I know you've played in world championships and you've been successful. Does the Olympics add anything different to that? And can you describe for our audience your process of that understanding of, I'm representing a nation here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Olympics definitely it's just like a whole new level. And I think obviously this is my first one, but even, you know, some of the girls have talked about it. It's like a world championship is awesome, but it's like the Olympics is just a whole nother level. No matter how many world championships you've played in, how many rivalry series you played in, like it's just different. You know, you are literally the biggest competition in the world. So I think, yeah, just thinking about that is crazy, because it's like you hear, you know, these people that are like, oh, I'm so proud that like you get to represent our country. And like, you don't, sometimes you have to take a step back and just like realize like I'm actually representing a whole country. And you don't really, sometimes you don't realize that when you're in the midst of it and you're just trying to win for your team and you're trying to win for, you know, the people around you. But it's like, it's so much bigger than just, you know, those 23 players. And that's like obviously a little scary, but so cool at the same time that like, you know, you have the honor and the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. You know, I always like to say, like you just said too, that the pressure accompanying that is a privilege, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you get to feel the pressure of that is such a privilege, because so few people get to do it. I also have to do this. Now, this is the coolest question I'm going to get to ask today. As a broadcaster, Hayley S., do you have any advice for Hayley Winn as someone who has done this before? Like, this is your opportunity. We're just doing it live on the air instead of privately on the phone.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I feel that it will definitely hit as soon as we are like on the plane, like together. I think what was weird about this announcement, how we found out this time, is that we weren't together as a team physically.
Interesting.
So I think that does make it different, because like I'm by myself here in Montreal. Like everyone's excited for me. They're congratulating me and stuff, but it's different than like when we found out for my first Olympics, we were all together. We got to like, you know, embrace each other and like be excited. And then we practiced together the next day. Right. So right now there's like a little bit of a separation. So I feel that it's normal to kind of feel like it's not real yet. And you're still excited. You're still honored. And like, we cannot wait to get over there and get started. But it'll definitely hit as soon as we're like all together and like actually they are getting our like Olympic clothes and getting our credentials and getting in the village and being with the other USA athletes. Like for me, it truly hit too, like opening ceremonies. You're with all of your other Team USA athletes, you're in the gear, and then you walk onto the stage and it's like, it like envelops you. It's incredible. I was tearing up. Just the best experience ever. And so I think it's super important to just soak in every single moment and just enjoy the process of the culmination of our dreams. So
yeah, I gotta say this, Hayley, you just brought up a really funny point. I just realized, based on what you said, that unlike the last Olympics, this time the captain of Team Canada is kind of sitting across from you in the locker room. Was that awkward? Did Poulad say anything to you, or was it just more of like congratulations, we'll see when you get there kind of thing?
I will say they were great, because they found out that I was like expecting the call the day like we had practiced that morning.
Yeah.
And so they sent me a nice text, like thinking about you, you know, sending good thoughts and stuff. And so that was like, I got a lot of support from everyone on the team, but to get it from them was like, it was a very surreal experience. And then also we were in New York for a game. And it was thank you, Lexi. Oh, sorry.
We're a pet friendly show. You're good. Yeah.
We were in New York and the announcement was going to be on the Today Show, and a teammate of mine, we were going to have breakfast and she had it on the station and then she changed the channel. She goes, Scams, how would you feel if I had this on? I go, I would really enjoy watching it. And then she gave me a big hug and everyone was so excited. And so that was a fun moment to be able to watch that with everyone. And thank goodness it was a positive outcome for myself. But
yeah, well, and I'll say you're friendly now, right? Like,
yes.
we'll just leave the assumption at that. But
it will switch later.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, thank you for sharing that advice publicly here, because I think that really is, and I love what you said about soaking in the moment, Hayley, because like I think too many times we sacrifice that. And you know, Hayley Winn, you acknowledged that before too. Like, you're in a position to understand that and take that advice, which is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Right. So I hate to bring this into a bad in a downward spiral, but because these are all awesome. I mean, I think this is like the kind of stories like you're saying, like, you would normally, this would be in a locker room and you're talking at dinner or whatever. And I think it's great the fact that you're both able to speak about, this kind of euphoria and this journey of making this team. But the fact of the matter is, and I think for our younger listeners, our listeners, that the girls and boys that are fighting for their life to make teams, many, many more women do not make the Olympic team. Right. And you've had a lot of teammates and a lot of classmates and a lot of people that you develop with and fight with and grow with and you're in training with. Can you both give a little bit of advice on, how do you be humble in these moments? Like, how are you in a situation where you're sitting with all these other women that are fighting just as much as you to get these positions, and you want to just, I mean, maybe it is better you're not in a room together, but you're really, what advice would you give to young girls that are making a team? They see their name posted on the locker room door, or there's an email that goes out. Like, how would you say that they react in those situations, to their teammates? Either one of you.
I'm sorry. Are you saying, like, how do we support like our own teammates who maybe didn't make the team, or
right? Like how are you reacting? Like, what advice would you give to a young lady that's like, okay, I made this team and this is it. But because I'm just always what goes around comes around sometimes, right? What how you react is not always going to be the case. Like, you're not, like, somebody's going to want to beat you now, right? You beat them out, and what advice would you give to a 16, 17-year-old player that makes that team in front of their teammates? What can they do to react in that moment?
I mean, I think you can be excited, and I think you can also hold space for those who maybe didn't make the team and just be there to, just be there for them. I don't think there's really much you can say. I think it just stinks. But if you're there to support them, give them a hug, give them some support, like, let them know they're still a great player. It doesn't define them. Everyone has their own path and journey, I think, is important to remember. But I think just holding space for them is the most important thing you can probably do.
Right.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with Scams. And I think to go back to like something I touched on earlier is like the line between like I always had a trouble with like confidence over like cocky, and like goes with humble. I think sometimes I would like diminish myself a bit because I didn't want to be cocky, but there's a difference between, being cocky and confident. So sometimes it's like, if I make a team and I look around, I'm like, how did I make this team over like all these other amazing players? And sometimes that's when like I fall into the mindset of like, you still have to be confident. Like, you still did something great. And even though, I don't know, there's players that didn't make it that are such good players, and like Scam said, you hold space for them, and you do the best you can to just be there for them. And again, there's no words that you can really say, but knowing that you did deserve that, and you do deserve that, and like you can, like she said, you have the right to be happy and enjoy that moment while obviously holding space. But I think just still being humble and knowing that like just because you're humble and confident doesn't mean that the cockiness side comes out.
Let's call it like it is too. This is the most competitive team to make in the world. All right. And I think everyone, you guys need to confirm this, but like, you all know what you're getting into. There's no guaranteed spots ever, right? Mm-hmm. You have to earn this every single day, whether you're with Team USA, with your pro teams. So I'm sure there's a communal understanding of just the competition to make the team, and that, like trying to win a championship, if you want to win big, you got to risk the other side of that too. And I think that the fact that you're all willing to risk that pain, that's actually triumphant, right? Not everybody gets to make Team USA. And I'm not saying that in a rude way. It's hard. It's the hardest team in the world to make if you're an American. All right. So I understand where you're going with that, Mike. And guys, you gave really eloquent answers there, because it's, it's like winning and losing. Like, someone's going to be elated, someone's going to be heartbroken. I think the respect and the gratitude is there both ways. Like, sometimes after I'm experiencing big wins, I almost wish I could share the gratitude I have for my opponent, right? And it's like you almost want to reach across and hug them, but you can't, right? Like you said, give space goes both ways. But anyway, Hayley, you have the next question on here too.
Yeah, so kind of switching gears to talk about just like how the game of women's hockey has evolved. Now that you're in the pro league, you can kind of probably see like how much it's exploded in terms of like the visibility and the opportunity that we now have. So how have you seen the women's game evolve in just the last few years, and what is exciting you kind of the most about in the direction it's going?
Yeah, it's so cool. I think I got to play in my first takeover game a few days ago in Detroit, and there was like so many young girls that were there and came up for autographs and stuff after, and just like seeing that. And I think it's so special you see like a team of girls, because I think when we were playing, it was like the girls always playing with the boys, and there weren't a lot of even girls teams. So it's so cool to see teams of girls and like just how far youth hockey has come. And yeah, it's so special. And I think that's what keeps you going, is like you see these girls that look up to you and you're like, okay, this is such a big reason of why you do what you do. And they have so much fun looking up to you, and now they have like an even bigger goal. I think when we were younger, again, the Olympics was almost my only dream, because it was like that's all there was. Like there wasn't a league, and I knew I wanted to play, but I didn't know what that was going to look like. And now for them to have this league to look up to, and like so many amazing players and expansion, obviously it's so cool. And yeah, you just see it. I think when the takeover games are really cool. I think so many people come out to those, and yeah, it's just been awesome to see.
The other cool part of it from the people watching is like I get to put these games on for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat and watched one of these obviously watch Hayley all the time, but we watch these games and it's like it's just what's on TV. We're watching hockey today. It's not so much women's hockey, it's just we're watching hockey. And I think it's really cool for my son and my daughter to see that as well. And I always say you're impacting people. You are both trailblazers every time you take the ice. And that's pretty amazing. So, all right, rookie, we're going to let you off the hook here. All right. Rookie Team USA Olympian, rookie PWHL. You're so much more than that, Hayley. I'm just kidding, obviously. But this has been a wonderful episode of Our Girls Play Hockey. I can't thank you enough for giving us time today. It means a lot.
Oh, thank you. It was awesome. I loved chatting with you guys, and no, it was so much fun. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to say this now. We're wishing you both the best. But if you want to come on in, mid-March, to have another conversation, we won't hold that against you guys. But
yeah, hopefully we come back with some.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah. Stay tuned for your loyal listeners. We're going to have that follow-up episode. But that's it for now. For Hayley Scamurra, Hayley Winn, Mike Bonelli, I'm Lee Elias. This has been a great episode of Our Girls Play Hockey. If you have any questions, remember email us at team@ourkidsplayhockey.com or use the link accompanying this episode in the description. You can message us right now. But remember, have fun, enjoy your hockey, and we'll see you on the next Our Girls Play Hockey. Take care, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. Make sure to like and subscribe right now if you found value wherever you're listening, whether it's a podcast network, a social media network, or our website, ourkidsplayhockey.com. Also, make sure to check out our children's book, When Hockey Stops, at whenhockeystops.com. It's a book that helps children deal with adversity in the game and in life. We're very proud of it. But thanks so much for listening to this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey, and we'll see you on the next episode.